Hi there! If your home always feels messy, no matter how much you clean, trust me, I've been exactly where you are. You know that feeling when you overpack a backpack just in case, but when you need something important, you have to dig through a mountain of stuff to find it. Our homes work the same way. The more we accumulate, the harder it is to access the things that truly matter. And here's the uncomfortable paradox. We buy things hoping life will get easier, but end up spending more time, more money, and more energy fighting the clutter we created. I used to live in a home packed with everything, until I finally started removing the items that look good online but make real life crowded. The result: my space felt lighter, my mind clearer, and cleaning stopped feeling like a weekly battle. In this video, I'm sharing 25 household items I stopped buying or got rid of and my life genuinely improved. If you want a home that breathes and a life that feels less overwhelming, this is the perfect place to start. First, let's start with a common kitchen item: spice containers. While matching spice jars can look elegant, they often end up being like background actors. They're there for the aesthetic but don't contribute much to the kitchen's functionality. In most cases, you only end up using one or two while the rest gather dust. They occupy a lot of room in the kitchen. I used to own a spice set with everything from pepper and salt to turmeric and thyme, but instead of looking neat, it only added clutter to my kitchen. Now I keep only the essential spices I use daily in compact, efficient jars. This has made my kitchen feel more open and made it much easier to find what I need. By sticking to the basics, not only does my kitchen look tidier, but I also save money. Every time I consider things that sit around unused, taking up room, I can't help but think of those cute silicone ice cube trays. If you're curious about how to get rid of unnecessary items and make your home feel more spacious, stay tuned for the next video where I'll share practical tips to transform your cluttered home into a calm, organized home. Silicone ice cube trays may seem fun at first, but quickly turn into something only useful for photos on Instagram. I swapped out my silicone trays for stainless steel ones. These are compact and easy to keep tidy and built to last. Now my freezer isn't cluttered with trays I never use, and I no longer waste time looking for the right one when I need ice. After decluttering my kitchen, I came across another item that was occupying an unnecessary room: my home manicure kit. Home manicure kits often promise convenience, but they usually end up gathering dust. At first, I thought I'd do my nails regularly using all the fancy tools, but in the end, I only used the nail clipper and everything else stayed neatly in the box. These professional kits full of various tools took up space and created a museum of gadgets that I never needed. After realizing that I only needed a clipper and file, I let go of the rest. Now my nail care area is much more organized and I no longer feel burdened by excess tools. Next, let's talk about gel-scented wax melts. They smell good initially, but the fragrance fades quickly, leaving only a chemical scent behind. I gave them a try, but over time it became clear they didn't last. So I switched to natural scented candles. They provide a longer-lasting, more natural fragrance and are safer for both my health and my family's. Candles help create a relaxing atmosphere without worrying about chemicals. Let's now move on to something else that's often purchased but seldom used: notebooks and planners. Have you ever bought a notebook just because it looked cute, only for it to sit untouched on your shelf? I definitely have. I used to have 3 notebooks, one for work, one for planning, and one for journaling. They were all pretty, but in reality, I only used one of them. The rest just gathered dust, sitting there unused. Those unused notebooks started to feel like a weight, and instead of inspiring me, they added to the clutter. Now I only keep the one I use every day. It's simple, practical, and keeps my workspace organized. Don't let unused notebooks pile up as silent reminders of what you didn't accomplish. One carefully selected notebook is all it takes to stay organized and keep things neat. Next, if there's one item that often leads us to overspend, It's phone cases. They look small cute, and they constantly change styles, and then boom, your drawer turns into a graveyard of old phone cases. If changing phone cases were a sport, I'd probably be the city champion. I used to follow trends too, constantly changing my phone case whenever I saw a new cute design. But in the end, I stuck with just one. Once I realized this, I chose a durable, high-quality, and stylish case to use long-term. This not only saved me money, but also helped significantly reduce the clutter. A single good phone case can make you stop constantly swapping them. And once I decluttered my old phone cases, I noticed another unnecessary item: fabric car and office chair covers. I never understood why we believe a thin piece of fabric could save a chair from dirt. In fact, fabric seat covers often make things worse. They're harder to clean and trap dust. I tried fabric seat covers for my car, but after a few months they collected more dust than the actual seats. Eventually I switched to easy-to-clean materials like soft plastic and water-resistant fabric. Cleaning is now a breeze, and I no longer worry about the cover getting dirty or worn out too soon. From there, I started looking at other protective items that were taking up space, including fabric microwave covers. I can't forget about those fabric microwave covers. They're the perfect example of an effort to protect, but not really succeeding. Freshly washed, they're clean, but after a few days, they collect dust, making everything look even messier than before. I once thought the cover would help prolong the microwave's life, but in reality, it just meant more laundry for me. Upon further reflection, microwaves are meant for heating food, not for dressing up. So I stopped using the cover and opted for the simplest solution: regular cleaning. This approach is faster, cleaner, and saves time. When I let go of unnecessary protective covers, it struck me that another item contributing to a cramped home is seasonal decor. Seasonal decor is always tempting, especially during the holidays. But after a few weeks of use, it gets packed away and sits unused for the rest of the year. I used to decorate by theme: one box for Christmas, another for Halloween, but I soon understood that I was only using those items for a few days each year. Now I stick to simple and neutral decor, minimalist art flower vases, and wooden pieces. This keeps my home tidy and beautiful year-round without the need to change my decor every season. As a result, my room is always neat, beautiful, and I don't have to keep changing my home's outfit every season. Speaking of buying more than needed, I can't forget about those multi-tiered, multi-compartment makeup organizers that rarely get fully used. I used to think I needed a giant organizer to keep things neat, but I eventually realized the makeup I use every day fits right in the palm of my hand. The large, small, high, and low compartments I thought would help with organization only made it harder to find the simple item I needed among the complicated layers. After trying a few different organizers, I learned a valuable lesson: a small compact box with just a few basic compartments is enough. Simplifying my makeup organizer made my vanity much tidier, and I no longer felt the need to buy more to look fancy. This led me to see that there were many things I could cut back on, beginning with pre-shredded cheese. Don't be fooled by this anti-stick coating. Pre-shredded cheese is not as fancy as it seems. It's quite frustrating when you add a bag of pre-shredded cheese to your cart, thinking it will save time, only to find that it doesn't melt smoothly and clumps together when baked. The dish doesn't taste great and your money is gone. Still, many people believe that pre-shredded cheese is the easiest option for baking, but actually it's more expensive and it doesn't melt evenly. Just switch to block cheese once and you'll immediately notice the difference: better flavor, better melt, and a much tastier dish. Once I ditched pre-shredded cheese, I quickly spotted another waste-prone convenience: pre-packaged oatmeal. Have you ever eaten a healthy oatmeal packet only to feel thirsty and unsatisfied afterward? The extra sugar and additives in many pre-packaged oatmeal varieties make them taste more like dessert than a nutritious breakfast. I switched to whole oats and now prepare my own portions. A little fruit honey or milk adds flavor, and I've found it to be cheaper, healthier, and more filling. Plus, I have more control over the ingredients, which makes for a better, more satisfying meal. And once I got used to this simpler approach, I noticed another item that's easy to buy, easy to use, but not necessary at all: parchment paper. Now let's talk about parchment paper, something that many people think is just convenient and good. Parchment paper may seem like a quick fix for easier cleanup, but it's not the most sustainable choice. It's disposable and coated with chemicals that aren't always ideal for your health. Every time I used it, I was throwing it away, adding to my costs. Eventually, I started using stainless steel and glass baking trays. These are easy to clean, can last for decades, and most importantly, they don't create waste. When baking, I simply line them with a bit of butter or reusable parchment paper, and everything becomes quicker, cleaner, and safer for my health. A small change, but it actually saves a lot of money and space in the kitchen. And when we talk about items that are fast, easy, but not long-lasting, I immediately think of single-use makeup remover wipes, another example of spending money on convenience that ends up being wasteful and harmful to the environment. I've noticed that makeup remover wipes don't always clean my face thoroughly, yet they create a lot of waste. The plastic packaging and single-use nature of the wipes contribute to pollution and clutter in my bathroom. After some time, I decided to switch to reusable clothes combined with a gentle face wash. Not only did this leave my skin feeling cleaner and softer, but it also saved me the cost of continuously buying single-use wipes. Plus, it significantly reduced plastic waste, a small change that made a big difference for both my skin and the environment. Upon understanding these benefits, I started to consider other items more closely. I tend to buy but rarely use, like my collection of nail polishes. If nail polish bottles could talk, I'm sure 80% of them would complain. You bought me just to display me. We often get swept up by the excitement of new nail colors, from delicate pastels to bold neons, thinking we'll experiment with every shade. In reality, most of us end up reaching for the same 1 to 2 favorite colors over and over again. The rest? They sit forgotten quietly, collecting dust on our vanity. When I took a careful look at my own collection, I realized I didn't need dozens of bottles. I kept just one neutral shade, versatile, easy to match with any outfit, and perfect for everyday use. Instantly, my vanity felt less cluttered and the process of doing my nails became much simpler and quicker. This experience taught me an important lesson. Having fewer nail colors makes decision-making effortless, saves money that would otherwise be spent chasing trends, frees up space, and even reduces the time spent on nail care. Sometimes less really is more. Many people add toner to their skincare routine just to feel like they have all the necessary steps, but its actual effectiveness is quite vague. Toner is often compared to a thin layer in winter. It looks necessary. It doesn't really do much for your skin. When I stopped using toner and focused on products that improve my skin, like serums and moisturizers, I saw better results. By simplifying my routine, I saved both time and money, and my skin felt healthier. And from there, another highly advertised product, eye cream, also made its way onto the unnecessary list. Eye cream sits on your shelf like a whispering jar of promises. I'll erase wrinkles overnight. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. That tiny jar looks so fancy and feels luxurious in your hands. After trying several types, I found that the skin around my eyes reacts the same way as the rest of my face when I use a regular moisturizer. There's nothing magical about it, it's just your everyday moisturizer in a smaller, more expensive package. By skipping the eye cream, I saved money and still achieved the same results with my usual moisturizer. This made me more conscious of other beauty products I had bought out of habit, which turned out to be unnecessary as well. Switching to these simpler methods not only keeps my skin smooth and healthy, but also clears up clutter, a small change that has a surprisingly big impact. Body scrubs are one of the easiest products to buy on impulse. They smell amazing, look fancy on the shelf, and give the impression of luxury, but in reality, using them a few times is usually the end of the story. Most end up forgotten in the back of a cabinet. Their colorful, pretty appearance is enticing, but the actual results are often not much better than simpler, more natural methods. Once I had accumulated multiple jars of scrubs I rarely used, I decided to try a body brush and homemade scrubs made with simple ingredients like sugar and honey. This method is gentle on the skin, much more affordable, and the results are surprisingly noticeable. My skin became smoother and healthier looking without the need for dozens of products taking up space and costing money. This change also made me rethink other beauty products I tend to hoard, like body lotion. We've all experienced that corner of the bathroom overflowing with body lotion bottles, each promising something different: brightening, firming, intense, hydration, exotic scents. Yet, in reality, how often do we actually use them all? It's not just wasteful. It creates unnecessary clutter that makes your bathroom feel crowded and overwhelming. It became clear that using all those bottles was impossible, so I kept only one versatile lotion that works for my skin. This single bottle covers all the basics: hydration, softness, and a light, pleasant scent, so I can use it daily without thinking twice. The difference has been remarkable. My bathroom feels instantly more organized, and I no longer fall into the frustrating buy, forget, let expire cycle. Reducing my lotion collection also made me more aware of other everyday items that often accumulate unnecessarily. One such example is single-use plastic bags. Most people have a drawer packed with plastic bags crammed in so carelessly that they can hardly recall where they came from or when they were collected. While they may seem convenient at first, in reality, they add to clutter your home. So I replaced those plastic bags with compact, reusable fabric ones. Now I take them with me when shopping, and there's no need to ask for plastic bags. They're lightweight, easy to wash, and can be used over and over again. This change not only reduced the excess bags at home, but also made me feel better about making an eco-friendly choice. As carrying fabric bags became part of my daily routine, I started noticing other kitchen items I rarely use, such as the electric can opener. The next item I'd suggest eliminating is the electric can opener. At first, it might seem like a good idea, but it ends up taking up precious space and can be more of a hassle than anticipated. The cords, accessories, and plugs only contribute to the clutter in your kitchen. On the other hand, a small manual can opener works just as efficiently. No charging required, no upkeep, and it's easy to store away when not in use. Getting rid of the bulky electric can opener made a noticeable difference. My counter felt clearer, and I no longer struggled with a gadget I rarely used. As I glanced around, it hit me the bread maker was sitting there occupying half the cupboard and barely ever used. Bread makers are those appliances people buy when they're excited about baking, always thinking they'll be making bread every day. At first, it's fun to unbox the machine, read the manual, and try out the first few loaves. After a few uses, the reality hits. The machine is too bulky, takes up nearly half the kitchen cabinet, and cleaning it or putting it away becomes more annoying than mixing by hand. Sometimes mixing dough by hand or using a stand mixer is quicker, easier, and more manageable. Baking by hand again not only saved space, but also produced bread that was fresher with a crispy crust and soft crumb far better than what the machine could make. Plus, it made me feel more connected to the process, and every loaf became something more rewarding. The bread maker was just the beginning. As I simplified my kitchen, I came across another appliance that took up too much room: expensive coffee makers. If you think that a fancy, expensive coffee maker will turn your mornings into a coffee shop at home experience, think again. The truth is, if you only need 1 cup of coffee a day, an expensive machine not only occupies valuable counter space but also demands regular maintenance cleaning and often comes with extra accessories and cords. Switching to a French press or a coffee drip method, I still get a delicious cup of coffee without investing in a bunch of equipment. My kitchen is much more spacious and making coffee has become easier and more pleasant. Light, simple, and cost-effective. That's the minimalist approach I'm aiming for. Next, there's another item that generates waste and is often overlooked: disposable tablecloths. After every event, do you ever look at the trash and think, did I really just throw away a ton of money? That's the problem with disposable tablecloths. They appear to be a simple option. Lay them out, use them, and discard them without much cleanup involved, but the cost adds up and you're left with more waste. Switching to reusable fabric tablecloths changed everything. Simply wash them after each use and they still maintain their color and patterns. Storage is much more organized, and I save money by not needing to buy new ones for every event. In fact, this made me realize that many other single-use items like plastic food storage containers also contribute to unnecessary spending. Now every event feels more enjoyable because I've made smarter, more sustainable choices for both the environment and my budget. Finally, I want to share one more: change plastic food containers. What seems like a simple solution often turns out to be a source of clutter in the kitchen. They scratch easily, change color, warp, absorb food odors, and usually need to be replaced every few months. Every time I open the kitchen cabinet, I find a dozen mismatched plastic containers, making it hard to store and find anything. Some even hold leftover food for weeks, only to open them and find a foul smell leading to more cleaning. I switched to glass and stainless steel containers for everyday food storage, from lunch to leftovers and even dry goods. This change made a huge difference. Food stays fresh, they're easy to clean, and the containers last much longer than plastic. My kitchen looks much tidier, and I no longer have a chaotic pile of plastic containers. This is the final item I suggest you reconsider if you're looking to create a more efficient and budget-friendly home. So we've gone through the list of unnecessary items from the kitchen to the bathroom, from beauty products to everyday essentials, and I've shared how I've removed them to keep my living space neat and more comfortable. If you're looking to simplify your life, reduce clutter, and save costs, just start with one small item. You'll notice a real difference. These small steps will build on each other and form habits that make your home more pleasant and organized. After watching this video, you can continue exploring other tips on tidying up, organizing your belongings, and optimizing your living space in my upcoming videos. By applying each step, your home will gradually become a more tidy, functional, and truly enjoyable place to live. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That will help me create more interesting and inspiring videos so that every day you can enjoy a more breathable and comfortable life.